Well, hey, how are you doing, Kaley? It's nice to meet you. This is the first time we've met.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
doing
it's really
good.
cool. Yeah,
Thanks. Yeah.
it's really really cool. I love that your husband reached out and said he'd been
hmm
watching it, or you guys might have been watching a few of these, and told me a little bit about your business. And so this is the first time we've met, which I think which is actually wonderful.
Yeah.
Get a chance to do this, but tell people that happen to watch who you are, what your business is, and just how are you, your family, and the business doing?
Yeah. Well, I'm Kaley Medina. I live here in Old Town Capel, and I own a sleep consulting business. What I do is help babies and toddlers learn how to sleep well. Because there's so many families out there who have babies or young children who just take a long time to fall asleep at night, or they're waking up pretty consistently throughout the night. And that's when they typically reach out to me, is when they want help fixing those issues and getting their children sleeping a lot more peacefully and starting to sleep all the way through the night.
As a father of three children, my two youngest are now 21 and 19.
Mm, a
So,
long time
man,
ago that you had that issue.
yeah, that was a very nice way of telling me I'm old. Thank you for that. Man, so where were you, 24 years ago? But where did this passion come from? Why are you good at it? Tell us about that.
Yeah, so this all started. I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. And when my 4-year-old was born, she was a terrible sleeper from the beginning. We did anything and everything we could to try to get this poor child to sleep. We'd walk around with the vacuum cleaner on, try to feed her to sleep, bounce her to sleep on the yoga ball. It was months and months where it would take hours to get her down, and she was just waking up very frequently throughout the night. I was back at work after 3 months. My husband was back at work. Neither one of us was sleeping well. And I didn't really want to do sleep training, because to me, I thought sleep training just meant you had to basically close the door and let your baby cry until morning time, which was just something that I wasn't comfortable with. So when I learned that there was actually different methods out there where you can do it in a much more gentle way without having to leave your baby and offer comfort as they're learning how to fall asleep independently, I was like, hey, what have we got to lose? Let's just give this a shot. And yeah, within 3 nights, Miss Evelyn was sleeping through the night, and our lives were changed forever. And that's when I decided to get my certification and help other parents who were in the same boat that we were.
Wow. So scarcity and issues and problems always, well, a lot of times lead to innovation, which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
So not knowing like the model of your business, if it's all online or if you do face to face, just not knowing that maybe with this pandemic, with the
Mm.
shutdown, with the craziness that we're all going through, from a business perspective, what has changed? What's been difficult? Are there things that you've had to pivot immediately because of this? Tell us about that.
Yeah, so with my business, I offer virtual consultations, but my most popular options are the in-home consultations, because that's when I go out to families' homes and I'm actually with them on the first night as they're starting to implement the new strategies to get their children to sleep. So that way I can really see, how they're responding in the moment and help them adjust what they're doing live. So with that not really being an option right now, I've moved 100% to the virtual consultations. And instead of doing that support in home, I've just been offering that live, basically the Zoom chat or an app that I use called Voxer, to where I can be present with them virtually as they're actually getting their baby to sleep there. So, it still works really well. Not quite as nice as being in home with them, but just the changes that we have to make for our times. Hopefully it's pretty temporary, but at least we're still able to fix those issues. And I just feel like sleep is something that is so incredibly important just in life in general. And then I can only imagine going through everything that we're all going through with this situation that we're in right now, families not having the sleep that they need. It's absolutely the right time to get started and to get these issues fixed while people have the time to actually be able to dedicate to this.
Yeah, definitely. Have conversations changed with your existing clients now that maybe both parents are home working versus just with changes that are happening? Um, are are your existing clients asking you for different things than maybe they did before? What's that look like?
Yeah, so the clients who have already gotten started, things have actually been like even better because they really do have that time. Either working parents are at home, or the one who is working is now at home, and they have the extra support while they're going through it. So things have actually been a little bit easier, I guess, from that perspective for parents who are actually ready to get started and working on it at this current moment, because they've got both parents there to help, and they have the time all throughout the day to not only work on the nighttime sleep but really start to get those naps under control as well.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Do you just work with infants, or do you help people like me that are having a hard time sleep? What's that look like?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I work with babies and toddlers and young children. My plan can work for children all the way up to 12 years old. And then my husband, Zeke, recently joined my team as our adult sleep consultant because we saw the need, just like you said. Once we get the child's sleep fixed, a lot of times parents either had issues before having children, or they're developed them after becoming parents here. And what Zeke does is work with adults, and it's a little bit of a longer process. With children, we typically get these issues fixed within 2 weeks. For adults, this is something that, we're just a little bit more established in our habits and a little bit more resistant to change. So his program lasts about a month long to start to get our own issues fixed, which is also something during this time that's the right time to get started with it.
I guess from your standpoint, I mean, it sounds like a lot of your business was already online.
Hmm.
Probably is the biggest change is maybe in the sales process where you're not meeting face to face or maybe delivering those first couple. Um, that has basically disappeared, but that's shifted all online for you. Am I thinking about that right?
Yeah. So what I always do is offer an initial phone consultation to people who are interested in getting started. So that way I can learn about their child's sleep and make sure that we're the right fit, talk to them about the different options. So that process hasn't changed. It's really more so just the families who were wanting to do that in-home consultation on the first night. That's now just changed to the virtual for the time being.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as we start to wrap this up, have there been any problems you've run into with, now stay with everyone basically kind of in shutdown mode, or have there had to be any cancellations just because maybe finances are getting a little wonky with people? Have there been any difficulties you've had to like overcome that way?
Yeah, so not so much from a client perspective. For me, it's been more so marketing. I've typically just gone out and marketed more towards like doctors' offices, and I do like free sleep seminars to moms groups and people who just generally kind of need that help. And so we've been just trying to figure out how to do that a little bit more so online, which is good, because it I guess o- offers that expansion opportunity that we might not have looked into before. So for us, that's really starting to dive more into social media and figure out how to find parents who need help from there.
Yeah, totally understand. So for anyone, or possibly everyone that could use your help that happen to watch this, like how do they get a hold of you? Tell us about your website. How do we get a hold of you?
Yeah. So my company's name is Live Love Sleep, and that's our website, www.livelovesleep.com. And I've got my phone number on there and our email address, and we have different options all throughout the website to schedule that complimentary sleep evaluation so that I can learn more about their child-specific sleep issues and walk through how I can help.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, it was wonderful meeting you. Even
Yeah,
though
you
we
too,
only live,
Ty.
our families only live a couple of streets apart. This is a nice thing of bringing people together that we didn't have a chance to meet. So it's great to meet you, and we'll see you around the neighborhood. But best of luck, and hope all of you guys are getting your own sleep. So
Yeah,
make sure you're taking your own medicine, right?
exactly. It's very important. No, I really
Absolutely.
appreciate you setting this up and everything that you've done the past few weeks. It's been great.
No, absolutely. All right. You have a great day, and we'll see you around soon.
All right, take care.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Bye bye.